I was adopted by a white missionary couple.
I was adopted.
I was adopted by a white missionary couple.
I was adopted.
Immediately placed for adoption.
I was in foster care with one family for 18 years. They were white.
My parents loved us, and I understand that, but at the same time,
They took the idea that they were saving me.
saving us from ourselves.
Being saved, and I should be grateful for the life that I've been given, because any child on the reservation would give anything to live as I was living.
They took us away from our mom. They came marching right in and literally took us and thousands of other children from their home.
It's a way to eradicate us. And to go to a nation's children is one of the sure ways to do that.
The U.S. has a long and brutal legacy of attempting to eradicate Native Americans. For centuries, they colonized Native American lands and murdered their populations. They forced them west and pushed them into small, confined patches of land. But Native Americans resisted. A Board of Indian Commissioners report said, instead of dying out under the light and contact of civilization, the Indian population is steadily increasing. And that was an obstacle to total American expansion. So the U.S. found a new solution: to absorb and assimilate them. It all started with an experiment and a man named Richard Henry Pratt.
He had in his charge some prisoners of war, and he taught these men how to speak English, how to read and write, and how to do labor. He dressed them in military uniforms and basically ran an assimilation experiment. And then he took his results to the federal government and said, they're capable of being civilized. So he was able to get this project funded.
In 1879, the government funded Pratt's project, the first ever off-reservation boarding school for Native American children. His motto was to kill the Indian and save the man.
That's what we need right there. All right. Hey. Damn. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Thumb, para todos los hermanos. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Alatam, Hashem Yahushua, to all the sisters, a todas las hermanas. Esta es la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. This is the Israel School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, desde Harlem, Nueva York. Desde el 1969 andamos diciéndole a nuestra gente, our people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, los latinos, indios nativos y los morenos, que nosotros somos los escogidos de Dios, el pueblo escogido de Dios, right? Our people are our God's chosen people. Y que nosotros tenemos que regresarnos a nuestra identidad, a nuestro Dios, a nuestro libro, ¿verdad? Con nuestro pacto con Dios. Hey, shalom, brother. How you doing, Doc? Y como siempre, estas clases siempre va a ser de cómo nuestra gente, el video que acabo de mostrar era de de las escuelas que, o más bien, cómo empezó el Estados Unidos a robar, o más bien a quitarle los hijos de los indios nativos, ¿verdad? A fuerza. Y cuando digo a fuerza es como a fuerza manera legal, ¿verdad? Lo que ellos hicieron es de que empezaron a hacer hacer como hicieron, ¿verdad? Vieron a la familia y dijeron, si la familia era bien grande en una casa, entonces el niño no podía vivir ahí bien. Entonces ellos hicieron lo que era ¿cómo se dice? Oh man. They started making what was man, I just had it right now. Les andaba quitando los hijos a los indios nativos, ¿verdad? Les quitaron los hijos por causas de la familia estaba bien grande, hacían historias, o más bien mentiras, contaban mentiras de que la madre no podía, no tenía como la capacidad de cuidar el niño, ¿verdad? Ellos estaban pobres, ¿verdad? O lo que sea, ¿verdad? Y inventaban algo para quitarle los hijos a esta gente, ¿verdad? A nuestros hermanos. Y they would make up basically lies on how to take the children away from our brothers, the natives, right? They would make a case, and they would say either that the family is too big, right, and living in a small house was not good for the child, this and that, and they would lie about how to get, and they made it basically a business out of it, right? And they made it so big to the point where they had to promote it in newspapers to say how like basically they need a family, try to help them out, try to, like, what I'm saying, make like they want a better life type thing. And what they ended up doing was they ended up taking these children, and some of the children that, like, they will tell you themselves, right, in some of the interviews, right, that they felt like something was wrong with them, right? Why was I removed from my family? Is there something wrong with me? And it's sad, it's horrible. Like, what I'm saying, imagine being a child. Like, how do you feel? And then even the case, right? The lady that works on the case, she be doing what she be doing is she be lying about how the child is in a better situation, feels better now, and they don't really care about what he's going through. They just wanna make a business out of this, right? They just want to destroy the family, right? It's like, go ahead. You had a question?
Now, what you describing, it sounds like CPS. Exactly what they do. They lie and try to get people out the house. You know what I'm saying? They pull up some trumped up charges and say, yeah, she's unfit or he's unfit, and take the child.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Is that we all can relate to what's going on, right? From the children up in the borders, right? To CPS, to, what I'm saying, even in the reservations, right? Todos nosotros podemos, estamos conectados en la misma historia, aunque sea en las fronteras, en las, los detenciones de la frontera, o el CPS, ¿verdad? O en las reservations, ¿verdad? Todas estas cosas están conectadas desde que a nuestra gente nomás los pasa estas cosas, estas tragedias. You know, these problems, these tragedies only happen to us, and things like this, history. You know what I'm saying? America's never gonna put this up and apologize about what they have done to thousands and thousands of children. You know what I'm saying? You know, like they say, what about 15 or 2,000, I think, children, right, got lost in the detention. How do you lose 2,000? Like, you know what I'm saying? How do you lose 1,000 children in the detention centers? Right? And it's the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep playing this video, and right before I cut it off, it said, kill the Indian to save the man, right? And that's what America tries to do to all of Israel, is to destroy us, to make us more like them, right? To destroy our spirit, destroy who we are, or even unalive us for even thinking that we're free, right? To have the audacity to talk back to a police officer, right? To have the audacity to think that you can have you can pursue happiness in the land of the free, right? Being an immigrant. Meanwhile, there's a Chinatown in every major city. But where do you see the Native Americans? Where do you see the blacks? Where do you see the so-called Mexicans, the Salvadorians? You see us in the fields, right? You see us in the fields, and you don't, and we don't complain about, you know what I'm saying, 2 cents a day, right? The jobs that nobody else wants, we'll take them. Why? Because we trying to survive. Meanwhile, everybody else is living like they in heaven. Why do we suffer? ¿Por qué sufrimos nosotros? Why are we suffering and they not? Why are we the only immigrants suffering in this state, and every other immigrant isn't? All the Chinese, the Japanese, Koreans, the Ukrainians, the Afghanistans, all these other, you know what I'm saying, towelheads. Well, what's up with them? Why do they get to live and you know what I'm saying, make businesses? Why can't we? Why don't we get deals or bills to protect us? The Stop Asian Hate, I think it's called. Yeah. No Asian Hate, right? Bill, something like that. Why do they make a bill and laws to protect themselves, but when it comes to us, they gotta all the immigrants in Florida, all the so-called Mexicans in Florida need to leave because they're gonna get deported. You know what I'm saying? That was not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? 10 years back in Arizona, they made a bill where they can racially profile Mexicans and ask for identification and proof of citizenship. Imagine that. Imagine being, you know what I'm saying, imagine being Mexican, being born a Mexican, right? And or Latino raza or Guatemalteco, Salvadorian, Venezuelan, and or Puerto Rican, and you working or you going to school and you have to have your documents on you at all times because you might get deported. Like, that is crazy, right? And the insults, man, don't even get me started on the insults. You know what I'm saying? Other Mexicans or our people, right? Our own people, the brothers that knew who wasn't from this state, who wasn't born in this country, and the brothers that were immigrants, they would both fight each other, right? They would both fight each other, talking about, you know what I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna get you deported type, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get you deported, this and that. Like, there's just the insults within each other, and that's the thing. Where's that? Let's get Zephaniah 2:1, right? Let's get Zephaniah 2:1 because it's so heavy how in this world we don't value ourselves, but the Most High values us. He sees the good in us. You know what I'm saying? He favors us, but we hate each other. That's what's crazy. And that's why I love the Isupk, because it taught me something different. It taught me how to love myself. It taught me how to love my people, right? Because for so long, I was afraid to dwell with my people because of what's going on around this country, hating us being the black sheep, or us being like the unwanted, the ones that are marked for death. Like just to live in our shoes is like, man, you're either gonna get deported, you're gonna get killed, or you're just gonna go to jail. You're a criminal. You live like your whole life is you're a criminal. Toda tu vida es como que si tú fueras una crimen. Naciste para hacer un crimen. Imagínate eso. No sé, imagínate eso. Imagínate ser viviendo, nacido moreno, indio nativo o latino, y que en tu mente es de que mis únicas soluciones o mis únicas opciones en esta vida es ser un crimen. Ser un crimen. ¿Qué fe vamos a tener en eso, man? ¿Verdad? O si no, o sería la otra, ¿verdad? Ser débil, ¿verdad? Ser un cristiano y pensar que todo va a estar bien en el nombre del Padre, Hijo y Espíritu Santo, amén, que el agua bendita y todo eso, esa no te va a ayudar, man. Esas cosas no te van a ayudar. Lo que te va a ayudar es la verdad. What's going to help you is the truth, man. Coming into the school, learning who you are, learning how to be a real man, a real woman, learning from the ground up how to build your house, man, how to live and not just survive. Because we've been trying to survive for so long, it has made our men weak, has destroyed us, man. We got to learn how to live, man. And the only way to live is through these laws, statutes, and commandments, serving the Lord and loving your brother, man. It's like, let me get that real quick.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Right. Who is the not desired? We don't like it, it's just crazy. We don't even desire ourselves. I just what was it, like 2 weeks ago? I put up a video of the dog experiment, right? In Spanish. Like in Spanish, I seen it the first time in English. It broke my heart, but even in Spanish, the brothers, like, just the brothers looking at, like, you know what I'm saying, looking at the bad doll, the ugly doll, and to say which one looks like you, and you point at it, and it's just like, oh, this is what you call yourself. This is how you view yourself. And it's not even that. It's just that this is what we're taught. This is what we're taught. This is what we are taught to think, that we need to be not black, not Mexican. So what's our option? Being American, being white. Or for los Latinos, having papers, agarrar los papeles, being a citizen, right? Recite the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, whatever you want to call it, right? Do all that BS and be more American. 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, doing all these things and being a Christian, right? On top of it. But all that destroys you, man. All that makes you into a coward. That's all you are. If that's what you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, worship, if that's how you gonna view your life, that you gotta be what, Mexican, you gotta be what, American, and forget about your own people, and call your own people wetbacks and whatnot, abandon your own people, knowing damn well you are just like one of us. I mean, how you gonna put on a different jersey when you born into this team, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you born into this team, but you wanna deny your own people? You a traitor, man. That's why it says what? One more time.
Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired.
Right. Gather yourselves together. That's why it says we need to come together. We need to join ourselves together. Because we are the not desired. A nadie nos quiere a nosotros. ¿Verdad? Nosotros los tenemos que unir. Los latinos y los negros. Nosotros los tenemos que unir, porque eso es lo único que los va a salvar a nosotros. Porque la arma más poderosa en este mundo es el carnalismo. Esa es la arma más poderosa, amar a nuestra gente. Dejar el mundo, dejar de ser americano, ¿verdad? Y ser y ponerte la cobra de ser israelita, Yashua en el hebreo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta stop trying to cover ourselves with the culture of these other nations. It's like, yeah, I forgot to. So the sister said too, right? Nakath, right? She said, Salaki, sir, it's crazy because I watched a movie on Netflix where Mexicans were working for hours to fill up the receipt, Salakia. Fill up to receive less than $100. Con. Salakia. Con, sir, because the oppressor knows that once blacks and brown come together, we are undefeated. That's why they kept us separated. Con. And you know what's crazy about that? That there's a book, right? I think we have it out here. It's it's called The American Holocaust, right? And it talks about how the slave masters knew that it was important to separate us, because everybody knows friends don't hurt friends, right? Or, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't hurt each other if we were to make an alliance. Imagine that. Imagine us during the time of slavery and us being stronger than our enemies. You know what I'm saying? In numbers, they knew they had to separate us. They knew that they had to destroy us. In order to conquer us, they had to divide us. You know what I'm saying? They had to destroy us and tell us that we are different, to hurt one another. And now we got to sell drugs to one another. Now we got to put the man, your woman has to take you out of your own home. Now you got to put your son up for adoption or abort that child. We hurt ourselves with the things that these oppressors give us, man. Because we don't see the value in one another. We don't have that brotherhood. We don't have that desire. We lost that desire when we serve another nation, when we go out and vote, when we start to look up these other nations and give that hope to one another, to give that hope to receive that hope from these Democrats, these Republicans, and think that we're gonna put them in office and they're gonna help us. Meanwhile, we are still being unalived. Meanwhile, we're still being deported. Meanwhile, we're still hating one another. Meanwhile, we're still selling drugs, and we're still being defeated by our enemies. We need to wake up. Let's get Matthew's 10 and 5. Right. So like before you get there, I'm gonna get a little bit more on this video too.
What started there at the Carlisle Indian Industrial School was nothing short of genocide disguised as American education. Children were forcibly taken from reservations and placed into the school, hundreds, even thousands of miles away from their families. They were stripped of their traditional clothing, their hair was cut short. They were given new names and forbidden from speaking their native languages.
To take our children and to indoctrinate them into Western society, to take away their identity as Indigenous peoples, their tribal identity. I think it's one of the most effective and insidious ways that the U.S. did do harm to Indigenous peoples here, because it targeted our children, our most vulnerable. And they tried to make us ashamed for being Indian, and they tried to make us something other than Indian.
There are also accounts of mental, physical, and sexual abuse, of forced manual labor, neglect, starvation, and death.
My great-grandfather went to Carlisle, and nobody in my family ever talked about it. So if you Google Indian boarding schools, the majority of the pictures that you will see will be actually from Carlisle. Colonel Pratt created propaganda. He hired a photographer to create those before and after photos to show that his experiment was working. So it was.
So like, that's crazy. That is insane. Oh man, that is insane. Imagine that. Like how this is what America wants us to do or to believe. Right? This is what they thought, right? To kill the Indian and save the man. Make us a man. And what makes you a man in their eyes? American. To be American, that's being a man. No, man. You become a coward, right? You become a tool to hate, a tool to use to hate your own people, to put you against your own people.
Right.
That's who you become, right? And mucha de nuestra gente, a lot of our people, right? Because it's a lot that always gets told, even at the slavery too. Oh, look, they see a white girl and it's like, oh, papers. Oh, look, citizenship. But I never see them say that when it comes to another black woman. You know what I'm saying? A Judite sister. Like it never crosses their mind. They never say that. But when it comes to a white woman, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. Because there's only one way to, in their eyes, right? Or what's being pushed is that the only way to be saved is being more or being like these white people, right? And it's all because of that. It's like, where's that? Is it right there? The Caesar Borgia right there? Con, if I could. The water. Con. It's hold up. And it's all because of this man right here. This devil. This pedophile. Es toda la culpa tiene este diablo, ¿verdad? Este no es su nombre. Este no es Jesucristo. Este es el diablo de la Santa Biblia. Este es el verdadero diablo. El que te hace creer que te va a salvar. El que te hace creer que te tienes que cambiar hasta tu propia imagen para ser más como él, ser más cristiano. Pero qué bueno puede venir de destruir tu cultura. Estos hombres, en el nombre de este hombre, ¿verdad? De este diablo, mataron, destruyeron, violaron y a mucha de nuestra gente. Y nosotros todavía seguimos a sus dioses. Este no tiene la imagen de nuestra gente. Esta imagen tiene la imagen de nuestros conquistadores. Este es tu conquistador. Este hombre es un diablo. Ese hombre es un diablo. Y es todo lo que es. Y nosotros lo tenemos que ver por lo que es. Porque si lo vemos como un salvador, ¿verdad? Si lo vemos como un salvador, cada vez que nos cerramos nuestros ojos y rezamos, esa es la imagen que a quien le pedimos perdón. Pero no le pedimos perdón a otro hermano que se ve igual como tú, igual como yo, igual como nosotros. Le pedimos, corrimos más hacia esa imagen, a pedirle perdones a esos diablos, a esos conquistadores, que a nuestra propia gente. And that's the problem, man. That's a huge problem. We gotta stop loving that image, because we run so quick to love and protect and fight to save or forgive these devils. But when it comes to us, we can't forgive one another. We can't forgive each other. We can't love one another. Who says you can't? Who's telling you can't? Who's teaching you to hate yourself, to hate the where your people come from? So much so where you got to change your image. That brother is a warrior. This brother is a warrior, but he has to change his image to be more. So like it was forced to change his image to be more like them. And that's what America wants of you. That's a true Christian, right? Wants you to be a true Christian. And this is what they use to destroy us, man.
Experiment was working. So it was, intentional propaganda.
And it worked. The Carlisle model of education swept the country and led to the creation of over 350 boarding schools to assimilate Native American children.
On the one hand, we have the Navajo as we find him in the desert. Few of these boys and girls have ever seen a white man. Yet, through the agencies of the government,
and these are some of the commercials that they were trying to put, right, to promote these devils, to take them from their families and adopt them as their children.
Being rapidly brought from their state of comparative savagery and barbarism to one of civilization.
In 1900, there were about 20,000 Native American children in these schools. By 1925, that number more than tripled. Families that refused to send their kids to these schools faced consequences like incarceration at Alcatraz or the withholding of food rations. Some parents who did lose their children to these schools even camped outside to be close to them. Many students ran away. Some found ways.
Look at that, man. Fucking beautiful right there, man. That's what we need. We need to protect our people, our children. Teach your child, man. Let's get that one scripture where it says, train up a child in the way he should go. Eso es lo más importante, es la familia, ¿verdad? Nuestros hijos. Es de que tenemos que ver a nuestros hijos crecer, ¿verdad? Crecer y hacerlos crecer hacerse el hombre o la mujer, ¿verdad? Que ellos deberían de ser, ¿verdad? Que para cuando que te toca que tú ya no estás en este mundo, ellos lo van a ver, ¿verdad? Los demás los van a ver a tus hijos y van a decir, no, hombre, tú me recuerdas mucho a tu papá. ¿Por qué? Porque cuando tú no estés aquí, él va a tener todo el conocimiento que tú le hiciste, los consejos que tú le diste a ese niño. Él los va a tomar y los va a guardar, ¿verdad? Por eso es muy importante que los padres también, y eso es, y es muy importante que tú le digas a tus hijos lo bueno, ¿verdad? Que hay que guardar los mandamientos. ¿De dónde viene su gente? ¿Sabes que tu gente son la gente de estas escrituras, de esta Biblia? Estos son tu gente, ¿verdad? Tú vienes de un pueblo muy importante, más que las demás otras naciones. Tu pueblo, tus raíces tienen sangre de reyes. Tu gente son reyes sobre esta tierra. Y cuando Cristo regrese, van a tomar esa posición como reyes o gobiernos sobre las otras naciones. Imagínate eso. Ya no vamos a tener que votar para sacar a Maduro de la oficina. Sacar Maduro, sacar Donald Trump, sacar cualquier gobierno, ¿verdad? Porque nosotros vamos a estar en esa posición. Nosotros vamos a estar en esa altura de gobierno, de presidencia. Nosotros vamos a hacer las decisiones para nuestra gente, porque nosotros venimos porque Cristo va a venir por su gente. Go ahead, Salaki.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Right. Train up a child the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Educa al niño desde morro, ¿verdad? Hacia el camino que él debería de ir, y cuando sea grande, no se va a alejar de ese camino, ¿verdad? Le das consejos buenos a tus hijos, ¿verdad? Él no va a dejar, porque eso es lo más importante, ¿verdad? El niño nomás sabe de lo que le dice sus padres, ¿verdad? El niño nomás sabe de lo que está alrededor de él. What's around his community. The child only knows what's around him, the people he looks up to, his parents. You see the condition that we living in? It's because of who we were raised up by. We were raised up by these oppressors. These oppressors have taught us how to hate one another. We look up to these oppressors, and we need to stop looking up to these oppressors like they something when they are nothing. The Most High said it himself. Let's get 2nd Esdras, right? 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 54. ¿Verdad? Estas otras naciones no son nada. Tenemos que dejar de voltear hacia arriba, verlos a ellos como si fueran algo grande, cuando no son nada. ¿Verdad? No son nada. Ellos no se pueden comparar con nosotros. Nosotros somos los mejores de los mejores. Y ninguna otra nación, ningún gringo, japonés, coreano, ninguna otra nación puede comparar que un mexicano, un latino, un puertorriqueño, un hondureño, salvadoreño, guatemalteco, un negro, un indio nativo. Nadie puede comparar con nosotros porque nosotros somos los mejores en todo lo que nosotros hacemos. ¿Verdad? Y a veces, y no se trata de deporte, ¿verdad? Imagínate esto. Somos los mejores en todo lo que hacemos en deportes o artistas. Pero imagínate si a nosotros nos dieran las llaves para mover el mundo, para controlar el mundo, para tener poder en este mundo. Si nosotros tuviéramos esas llaves, lo que haríamos en un solo día. No, hombre. ¿Pobreza a dónde? ¿Qué pobreza? Nosotros vivimos en esa pobreza. Y mira dónde estamos nosotros todavía. ¿Verdad? Mira dónde estamos nosotros. Nosotros todavía seguimos luchando en esta vida maldita que vivimos ahorita. Pero ¿sabes qué? Está bien. Todo eso va a cambiar. El tiempo va llegando donde nosotros vamos a tener esas llaves. Y Dios los ha dado esas llaves. ¿Verdad? Slaggy, go ahead.
2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 54. Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
That they are what?
Nothing.
De las otras, entonces, de las otras naciones, ¿verdad? Que vienen de Adán, ¿verdad? Las otras gente que vienen de Adán, Dios dijo que ellos no son nada, ¿verdad? Go ahead.
But be like unto spittle.
But be like unto spittle. ¿Sabes qué es spittle? Es la escupir, ¿verdad? Todo lo que no quieres. Imagine that, spittle, the thing that you don't want, right? Who wants that? Like they are disgusting. They are filth, right? Go ahead, keep going.
And has likened the abundance of them into a drop that falleth from a vessel.
A drop that falleth from a vessel. Imagine that. Imagínate eso, ¿verdad? Tengo este vaso, lo tengo todo lleno. Se me tira un poco. Voy a tratar de agarrar todo lo que se cayó. No, a mí no me importa lo que se cayó. A mí lo que me importa más es lo que tengo en este vaso. Las sobras, ¿verdad? son como polvo. No sirven. Es lo que dice Dios, que las otras naciones no sirven. Go ahead. Keep going.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be the lords over us.
Right. Ahora, estas naciones que tú dices que no son nada, ahora ellos están en posición sobre nosotros y ahora ellos son reyes o gobiernos o presidentes sobre nosotros o policías o migras sobre nosotros y ahora ellos los devoran, los destruyen a nosotros. Ahora, now they are destroying us. These people who are nothing, these people who are worthless, who don't know how to do anything, they are worthless, and now they are lord over us. What I just said before that, right, was that imagine that we, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the best in everything we do, right? In everything we do, whether it be sports or art or music. But imagine in everything else that we can imagine the other things that imagine us ruling this world. How good would this world be? How good would this world be if we were to rule this world? Seeing that we are great in everything that you put us in. And whatever you want us to do, we'll do the best in that. This world is this the our people, right? Our people have been raised up, have been destroyed, right? And we still manage to live in this world. Somehow we are still living. I see my people every time I go into slavery, right? We are poor. We don't win nothing. You think we make some money? We don't. What did the sister say? She said that the Philip, right? The Mexicans working for hours to fill up receive less than $100. Imagine that. Working in the fields, picking oranges, picking whatever, right? Any fruit, vegetable, just making $1 a day. $100, that is nothing. Meanwhile, the oppressor, right, makes everything. And we still managing, we still doing all right. Nah, man, we could be doing better if we were given to rule over this world. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to realize that this right here, that our lives doesn't end just by waking up every day just to be slaves, just to wake up and do it again. Right? I remember I was telling you, I had this conversation with Officer Apayat, right? And we would always talk during the slavery. And that's really what I would always ask him questions, you know what I'm saying? And I really wanted to know what life was about, man, because I was really getting tired of waking up every day just to be a slave. Now there's hope. There's hope, man. Your life does not, tu vida no se termina nomás siendo un esclavo toda tu vida, ¿verdad? Ahora tú puedes tener ese poder ¿verdad? Tú puedes cambiar la historia, ¿verdad? Tú puedes cambiar la historia de tu gente, de tu propia gente. Lo primero sería cambiar tu vida. The first thing should be changing your life. And then let's start changing the lives of our people, man. Man. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because Christ was a revolutionary, right? He taught our people, right? He taught poor people that the God of Israel would save them and set them free. Like being Black, Hispanic, or Native American, and you just thinking like that could be me one day, seeing nothing but red and blue, just automatically, your heart drops. But you see a white person deal with a police officer a different way, where he can argue with them. He can get into an argument and not get shot. You know what I'm saying? You know how special you have to be. Like, you can't even say I didn't do anything, because then you're getting punched in the face by a police officer, and you just got to take it. Nah, man. Right. Damn that. Like, imagine that. Like the degradation of these people have gotten so far up where they can just get away with murder, and we gotta find out a way how to not escalate. We gotta be the ones to de-escalate when it should be the police officer's job to do that. But we gotta figure out, we gotta control ourselves. We gotta figure out how to, you know what I'm saying? Man, America needs to burn, man. America is gonna burn, and you should pray for America to burn. There's no hope in America. There's no hope for any of our people, wherever you're at, because a lot of our I don't know if you've seen what's going on in Venezuela, sir. Venezuela, where a lot of our people are going to war right now because of Maduro has been. They said that Maduro robbed the people, and now he is still a president, and they didn't want Maduro as a president. So brothers and sisters are being unalived in the streets for retaliating against the government.
Is he Israel?
Nah, la. You know, and the thing is that the whole voting system, it really destroys our people into thinking that, man, we got hope. We might have hope. And this bastard gives them that slight chance of hope, and he's not letting go of that seat. You know what I'm saying? And our people over here asking, I see one of these interview news reporters talking about, oh, now we got to go ask help from neighboring countries, meaning around them, like Chile and all that, right? They got to ask all these other countries, all these other governments, see how they can help save Venezuela by taking him out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our hope is in the eyes of another nation. You know what I'm saying? What's that in the Lamentations 4:21? You know what I'm saying? Our vain help, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. You know what I'm saying? We looked up for a nation that could not save us. We're looking to these other people, and we think that they are here to save you or protect you. Meanwhile, they're gonna unalive you. Meanwhile, they're gonna attack you. Meanwhile, they see you as a threat. Man, we gotta stop thinking that these other nations can save us, man. Voting has not helped us and will never. Votando no los ha salvado de nada y todavía no lo. ¿Dónde estamos ahorita? There's a story of this brother, right? His name is Anastasio Hernandez Rojas, right? This brother was beaten to death by 6 police officers. Who would that remind you of, sir?
Beat by 6 officers? Man, Ronnie King?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this brother was beat by, like, I think it was 6. You know what I'm saying? But this brother was beat, and all these officers, none of them got charged, and they're all still working. Nothing has happened.
Where's this happening?
This happened at the border. Like, this brother was deported. There were border agents, right? And he got deported, and he wanted to go back to his family. And they were saying that he was being aggressive. Same story, same complete story as Rodney King. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, the brother didn't, you know what I'm saying, didn't make it out alive. This brother was unalive for trying to see his family. Yeah. Like, once again, Anastasio Hernandez Rojas, right? This brother, man. Hey, shout out to Officer Ashford, you know what I'm saying, for showing me that story, because that's, man, I ain't gonna lie, that story brought tears to my eyes, because, man, that brother, like, literally hardworking man, wanted, you know what I'm saying, be there for his family, got, you know what I'm saying, got deported, and wanted to come back, and wasn't resisting, as they always like to say, we're resisting, and that gives them the license to unalive us. And it was all being recorded, thankfully. You know what I'm saying, there was a sister out there recording and saying, you know what I'm saying, why are you guys doing that to him? He was just saying, stop, ayúdame, somebody help me. And it's like, go ahead.
Yeah. What is so heavy about it all, what I see in it, and try to remember at least, is that even though we suffering like this, we going through all this pain and tribulation, and getting unalived every day, family members getting unalived by these people every day, you know, that's just to show you that God is real, because in control of everything, because if he wasn't, we will all be dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they tried to, you know, they damn near, you know, made the Native Indians, you know what I mean, perish off our instinct. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, what I'll be looking, I just looked at it and I was like, damn, man, we could have really been gone off. You know, all of us could have been like gone. They could have killed all of us if they wanted to, with no problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
And who's gonna say something? No one cares about us in the world. You know what I mean? So,
no, yeah. I mean, like I said, man, that's that. I'm trying to pull up that video of this brother right here. That desire, you know what I'm saying? That not desire, Salakia. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Watch. Let's see if I can put it on.
Oh my God. No creo que por 20 personas. Tanto todo puede.
Suffered a heart attack and was later pronounced dead. Like I said, man, that right there, that was
Yeah, they beat him to death. Going on heart attack. He just ran out of breath. He probably like trying to fight back a little bit, but ran out of breath. I don't see that. I don't even know the video, so I'm not gonna look at it later.
Con. His name is once again, his name is Anastasio Hernandez Rojas, right? Being and killed by Border Patrol, right?
At the border of where though?
Texas. I think it's El Paso. I believe it's El Paso, right? But yeah, this man, I'm telling you, man, like if you just look at us, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if you see us, and it's just like from the stories of the bats, the border bats, to this Tuskegee experiment, from Anastasio Rojas to Rodney King, you know what I'm saying? We all share the same oppression, you know what I'm saying? And we are the ones being hated. And like Jeremiah Hyman said, is that we or Salakia, Captain Tazaria said, right, that we suffer from colorism. You know what I'm saying? We suffer from colorism. But you know who doesn't suffer from colorism? The police. White people, Salakia. White people do not suffer from colorism. And how do you know? Because they won't stop East Indian or an African, right? You never heard of an African or an East Indian, you know what I'm saying, being unalived by a police officer or a Asian, right? Another immigrant. But when it comes to us, they gotta racially profile us, right? Now they see color. Now when it comes to us, they see who they don't belong here, but they are okay. They are protected. They have someone to protect them, but they don't have what's called a shepherd, right? I'm gonna close it with this scripture, right? Let's get Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel, the chapter 34. Give me a second. Ezequiel, el libro de Ezequiel, capítulo 34. Ezekiel 34. No, let me see where I want. As I live, says the Lord.
34.
Con 34, and we'll start at man. Let's start at verse 2. Sloppy.
Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 2. Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, This saith the Lord God unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
Right. Woe is Old English for destruction. Era destrucción. Era a los shepherds de Israel, los que están encargados sobre nuestra gente, right? The people who are who are supposed to protect us, right? Like your religious leaders, right? Like your politicians, mainly your religious leaders, right? Your religious leaders are supposed to protect, are supposed to say something when something happens to God's chosen people, but they are out there telling you to go vote. They're promoting vote or die. They're promoting who to vote for, right? The Most High said, "Destruction unto the shepherds that do feed themselves." Right? They rob the poor. They rob the poor with false hope that they are going to be saved. So it's like I said, in there, do you know that there's this preacher woman, right? This preacher woman is saying that if you give me $100, I'm gonna give you an acre in heaven. How crazy that is? Like, this woman is trying to sell acres for people who are alive, so when they die, they have somewhere to go to. Like, that's how destroyed we are. That we believe that this world that we live in, that we gotta die in order to go somewhere better. Man, we are destroyed, man. We are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Nuestra gente no saben la verdad. Estamos destruidos por la falsa o la falta de conocimiento. We need to wake up, man. Stop listening to these preachers like these women or these false prophets. These your Christians, right? Let's drop down to verse 5. No, go ahead.
Verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they became meat to all the beasts of the field.
And they became meat to all the beasts of the fields, right? We were scattered because there was no shepherd. Because we don't have that leadership, man. Because we don't have someone to look up to and say, this man is going to protect us. This man, anytime something happens, he's always there to save us. He's that voice that we've been looking for. Now your religious leaders not with them. What do they want from? What are they always advertising? Money, votes, politicians, holy water, crosses, images, right? These, it's like, go ahead.
That's it, right?
No, así es. Canto, it's like it. Most I cried. Like they, yeah. No, hold on, it's like it. They're always advertising these things like vain things, right? From Christmas trees to votes. All these things they give you to distract you or to really not even put you in the spirit of the Lord. They more give you what you want. They more give you what your flesh wants. They don't give you the spirit of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to wake up and understand that these religious leaders are not here for us. They are here for themselves. They don't desire their hearts they're not here to serve the Lord or his people. And that's why we are destroyed. When it says we are destroyed, what does it say? We became meat to every beast of the field. Is, you see what we just seen right now to Anastasio Hernandez Rojas is because of your religious leaders. What happened to Rodney King? What happened to that sister? What's the sister's name again? The one that got unalived. What happened to that sister? You know what I'm saying? What happened to every brother, any brother, sister, any child to Emmett Till was because of your religious leaders, man. Because they don't protect us.
Sonia Massey.
Sonia?
Yeah. Massey.
Macy?
Yeah.
Sonia Macy. Lo que pasa con nuestra gente, donde estos malditos diablos los matan a nuestra gente, como el video donde acaba de ver del hermano Anastasio Hernández o Sonia Macy, Slackio, perdóname si no lo ando diciendo bien, o lo que pasó con los indios nativos en el Estados Unidos, donde les robaron sus hijos. Estas cosas todos pasaron por culpa de estos malditos pastores. Estos pastores tienen la culpa también de que nosotros somos vulnerable. We are vulnerable because we don't have a leader. No tenemos un líder, ¿verdad? No tenemos alguien que los vaya a cuidar, a proteger. No tenemos esa protección. Lo único que tenemos es agua bendita y ojalá, o esto. Es todo lo que tenemos. San Judas, ¿verdad? La Virgen, brujería, Santa Muerte, ¿cuál más? Ángel de la Guardia, ¿verdad? Tu dulce compañía. Tienen oraciones, tienen cosas vanidad, ¿verdad? Herramientas vanidad que no sirven para nada. Una cruz no te va a salvar de la plaga que va a llegar a este mundo si no pones trucha, si no te pones la trucha, si no te pones trucha de que salir de estas religiones y tomar y sacar tu fe en el Estados Unidos y en estas religiones y poner tu fe en Jesucristo. Pon tu fe o tu amor con tu gente y aprender que ellos son, las otras naciones están contra ti, contra nuestra gente, contra Dios. Y que tu verdadero hermano es un hombre moreno por el llamado de Jesucristo, Yahawashi en el hebreo. That's about it. Como les digo, man, la única protección que vas a tener es Dios. Dios es tu única protección, pero tú no puedes entrar a la iglesia y pensar que ahí va a estar Dios. No, man. Ahí no está Dios. Dios no sirve a las maldiciones de tus pastores, ¿verdad? Él no sirve las maldiciones de tus religiones, porque es todo lo que cargan esas religiones, es que puedes seguir pecando porque Jesucristo murió por los pecados. Ahora te da una licencia de seguir pecando. Oh, man, you can't be serving these. You can't be in these religions and thinking that the Most High is gonna be with you, man. Because these religions give you a free a license to serve, or it's like to be a filthy, wicked, disgusting, you know what I'm saying, person. And because Christ died for our sins, now that gives you a reason, or more like for you thinking that that's a reason for you to continue in sin, right? I mean, brothers that they say, oh, they study the Bible, but then still continue to eat pork, still continue to celebrate Christmas. Oh, it's not this and that. Like, Christ died. He said it's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out. Like, you know what I'm saying? These things where it's just all that is Christianity. All that's Christianity, and all that is destroying you. You can't serve. You can't serve two masters, man. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You're either going to love one and hate the other, serve one and despise the other. You can't serve God and still want to be, you know what I'm saying, a Christian. You don't have to choose, right? We chosen here. We made an oath. We chosen here, man. Slack. Pues tengo otra cosa aquí. Nah, sí lo voy a dejar. Once again, esta es la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal, bajo el comandante general Yahana, ¿verdad? El encargado, ¿verdad? El líder de nuestra gente, ¿verdad? El que vino, el que viene, el que los enseñó la verdad, ¿verdad? De esta Biblia. That's what I forgot. Y desde 1969, ¿verdad? Nosotros vamos a seguir haciendo este trabajo, diciéndole a nuestra gente que ellos son los verdaderos israelitas, son los escogidos de Dios, son los que Dios ama más que a todo y al resto del mundo. Ellos van a ser sirvientes de nosotros. Nadie quiere escuchar eso, porque nuestra gente somos esclavos, ¿verdad? Somos esclavos a las otras naciones y nosotros no pensamos en tener poder, el poder de gobernar el mundo. Y nunca vas a recibir ese poder si piensas como un esclavo. Hay que dejar eso, ¿verdad? Ya que crecer, porque si tú quieres que tu gente esté en una posición mejor, tú vas a tener que traer todo lo que Dios dijo y ponerlo por obra. Amar a tu gente y a guardar los mandamientos, ¿verdad? Y a servir a Dios. Lo más y es lo primero, ¿verdad? Es a servir a Dios. Y todo lo demás se une con lo primero. Y con eso, ahí los dejo. And with that, shalom.